everybody. Welcome back to What's on D's TV, my commentary podcast, where I talk about things that I watch, that I listen to, that I enjoy, that I love. My name is D. Housekeeping rules are the same. We can disagree, but you don't gotta be rude about it. Feel free to put your comments in the comments below. I have a guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Mo. You already know. Ooh, bars.
We'll cut her parts out again.
Cold.
It's not even cold. Stop being
It is
dramatic.
cold.
Go outside where it's 105 degrees.
You gotta
Exactly.
do this by yourself.
Shut up. Anyway, hi everybody. I hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are staying cool. We are back to talk about Mrs. Fletcher. Again, this is my top 3 of Kathryn Hahn shows. I'm very excited. We're going to be talking about episodes 3 and 4 today. Did you have anything that you wanted to say before we start?
I'm cold.
Shut up. Other than that, she's dramatic is what she is, but you know how Aries are. So we'll get into it.
Whoa.
Whatever. Episode 3 starts by Eve showing Eve pack the boys. I guess she's packing a care package or whatever to send him because he's been at college for a little bit. So she's packing a care package to send to him that she was gonna bring with her when she went to visit him for parent teacher or parent student week or whatever.
Parents weekend.
Sure. And I said that she put the worst flavor ramen noodles in there for him.
I feel like all you gotta do is just add some hot sauce.
The beef flavor is the worst flavor.
Add some hot sauce and you're good.
Yuck.
I want some.
The beef flavor is disgusting, especially with the cup noodles. The beef flavor is nasty.
I like that one.
Yuck.
I don't like the packed food. I don't know. I don't like any of this.
I don't like any of the beef flavors. I think they're nasty. Well, but I like the teriyaki beef and that the black and red. I don't remember what it's called. The lo mein noodles.
Oh,
but just the instant. That's nasty. Anyway, so Eve is packing a care package for the boy, and she decides to bake some cookies. So she puts the cookies in the oven and immediately turns on a pern while the cookies are cooking, and then she starts, humping the pillow, just humping away on the kitchen floor.
Hard.
But she got a pillow. She humping the pillow.
Okay, but like that's the bottom.
I feel like she a masochist. She's just like, because there's no way you thought that baking cookies was enough time to fully. Everybody different, whatever.
The aroma of the cookies got her juice.
Oh my god. Or she just an addict. But yeah, so she's humping away while the cookies are cooking, and then the timer goes off, and so she has to stop, and she's so frustrated by it. I was like, girl, what did you think was gonna happen?
I feel like those cookies cooked a little too quick. Unless she just took forever.
She took forever.
Okay.
Get you a rose, girl. Anyway, and then the next thing we have is Zach and Brandon in their college dorm, and Zach is trying to clean up for parents, their parents coming to visit, and Brandon's just making a fucking mess, being a child, because that's what he is, an immature dude. And you can tell that Zach is just over him.
I wonder if he's going to request a different roommate. Because can't you do that?
I believe so. If you're having issues with your roommate, I would have been said, actually no, because I would want Eve to come visit. So I would suffer through with him.
Absolutely.
to see Eve. Yeah.
It's not often though.
I'll be like, hey, tell your mom come visit us for the weekend.
That's crazy.
That's what I did. And it's funny that I said that it's funny that Brandon was telling Zach that he's gonna fuck his mom, and I was like, that if I was Zach, I would be saying that to Brandon. I'm just playing. I'll be respectful. I'm just playing, huh?
Vice versa.
Listen, But yeah, no. And then I said, I love that Zach is a social bee at school and Brandon is the loser.
I love that.
Zach got places to be,
Yeah.
things to do, and Brandon is just like, where is he? Where is he? Right? And then I said, the boy's father is very annoying. Eve's ex-husband. I don't know how she did it. I don't care what his name is. He's annoying. And then the scene was the scene was him coming to visit Eve.
Yeah.
To drop off something. I think the fee the cost.
Tuition fee.
Yeah, the tuition fee for Brandon's next semester. And then he's like, "Oh, can I just use the bathroom right quick?" And then he uses it. No. First of all, he walks out that bathroom, did not wash his hands, and you could tell because he's buckling his belt as he's walking out the bathroom. Nasty bastard. 2, how you gonna come in my house and tell? Oh, he told Eve that him and Brandon have decided for him to go visit him for parents weekend. Mind you, Eve has been preparing for this parents weekend for a while. And so he told her, I'm gonna come visit him. You just stay home and rest. And I was like,
although like it's parents weekend, so really they both could have. Yeah.
I was like, you telling me that I can't visit my child that I pushed out of my cuckoo?
It's crazy.
And you telling me I can't visit him? These nuts. That's all I'm gonna say. So he's disrespectful, and I can't stand that man. I don't know how she was married to him. Whatever. And then I was like, Brandon and his daddy are dicks, telling Eve they've decided to hang out during Parents Weekend without her. And at first I was like, wait a minute. At first I was like, I don't believe that he even spoke to Brandon. I think he did though. I think he decided that it was just going to be him and Brandon. They decided that it was just going to be them two. Gotcha. So they're both douches. Fuck them. And then the next scene is Eve leaving this long descriptive message on her son's phone about how his dad is a cheater, and a loser, and he's gonna disappoint him because he's a disappointing person and all that stuff. And I was like, dang, Eve, it's a valid message. I don't know if that's gonna do anything for in his eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was also like, I don't think he's listening to that message anytime soon, Eve. So by the time he listened to it, she'll probably have calmed down and been like, oh crap, I forgot about that. I thought that was funny. And then the next scene we have is Brandon. He's seen somebody that he played in, I think they just talk about football.
Yes, I think.
Okay, he played some sport in high school, and he was talking to one of the dudes that was on the opposing team. They now go to the same college. Whatever. And so he sat with the dude and his friends, and this scene was so fucking awkward because the dude and his friend are talking about like scientific stuff, like global warming and all that, and then Brandon is just like, I would be like the dude who surfed through the tsunami. Yeah. And I was just like, Brandon, please shut up.
No.
Yeah, they're like,
back to the conversation.
Back to global warming. God damn it, Brandon.
Karma though.
I just I love to see that he's getting a dose of reality in real time. I love to see that. And then the next thing we have is Eve and her fellow classmates in the writing class. And Eve just looks so sad. They all look just done and like over it. But Eve, she looks so sad. And then the teacher's like, wait, is it me? Like, am I a bad teacher? And they're like, no, it's just the classroom, the environment, the aura is off. So she's like, all right, how about we move class to a bar? Which, that was never an option when I was in college.
Technically, she said just move the class, and then Barry suggested his bar.
No, she said to a bar. How about we move class to a bar? And then Barry suggested his bar. No, move to a bar. So I feel shortchanged because that was never an option when I was in school. Nobody ever said, let's go to a bar today. Let's learn about child attachment in a bar with drinks and whatnot.
And a bar is wild.
I don't know the bar names out here. But I still would have liked to be able to say no. I would have liked it to be an option and be like, nah. And just not get the opportunity at all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I feel shortchanged. Anyway. So Brandon is sitting with the guys and they're talking about global warming, and he sees that he got a missed call and a voice message from his mama. And he's like, let me go see what this is about.
Exited stage left.
As he should have. He shouldn't have went over there. Anyway. So he picked up the phone, he listened to the voice message that Eve left, and it was about her saying how she expected the father to be a douche and do shit behind her back, but she didn't expect it from her son.
Mhm.
And that, the dad cheated on her, and good luck, he's the disappointment, all that stuff. And his face while he was listening to Eve's message, he was just like, what is going on? So I guess he didn't know any of that. But I feel like he could have assumed. But I don't know. And then the next scene we have is Curtis and the teacher talking. And Curtis is saying that he's a doctor, but he doesn't want to be. And I said, if you don't want to be a doctor, you definitely shouldn't be, because I feel like that can affect people's health.
Yeah.
And how they get help. So he shouldn't be a doctor if he doesn't want to be. But he said that he became a doctor because it's what his mom wanted and he didn't want to disappoint her. And I was like, okay, I guess. And then the teacher was describing or explaining to them her relationship with her father. And she was saying how their relationship severed when she came out. And what's the dude's name? Barry goes, oh, so you're like a lesbian.
Like,
and it was just like, okay, Barry. And then she goes, no, I'm trans. And he's like, wait, what? And then everybody looks at her and she's like, wait, I'm trans, right? And then, of course, Barry being Barry, he goes, wait, so do you have the surgeries and everything?
like, sir.
And Curtis was like, don't ask nobody that. Like, stop. And he was just like, oh, I'm just asking questions. Good Lord. That's how it is, ain't it? And I said I loved that she felt safe to come out to them as trans and let them know her experience. I love that for her.
I love that they weren't like supportive.
Exactly. And the next scene we see is Eve and Julian sitting at a table by them lonesome. By their lonesome. And I said, Eve, I don't think you should be alone with this boy. And then Eve asked Julian why he didn't go to college, and he said he didn't have a good experience in high school. And I was like, oh, Julian, I know, I'm sorry.
This is where they were sitting at.
No, they were sitting at the table talking.
Gotcha.
And then
Are you sure?
now this is where, oh yes, okay, hold on. Oh yeah, this is when they was outside. Okay. My bad, y'all. This is when they was outside. So Eve asked him why he didn't go to college and all that stuff. And then after he said that he didn't have a good experience in high school, Eve asked where he went to high school, and Julian told her, and Eve was like, wait, did you know my son?
No.
And then she said his name, and you saw the look on Julian's face where he was like, he got a bit of recognition. But then he was like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, now Julian knows that Eve is Brandon's mother, and Brandon bullied him.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be awkward. So, after the next scene is Brandon feeling alone because he doesn't know where Zach is, and he didn't really chime with those dudes that were talking about global warming. So he was like, let me go to this meeting. In the first episode, when he first got to college, he was looking at programs, different clubs to join, and one was like autism awareness, or for people who had family members with autism. And so he was like, I'll go to this club and see. So they were having like a group meeting, and he was explaining everything that happened and everything with his dad and his brother, and he decides to use the R slur. And you can see that they were trying to be like, "Hey, we don't do that here. Be respectful."
Yeah.
And he just kept saying it. And I was like, "Brandon, please shut up." And then the thing that was funny to me was when he she was like, "We don't use that word here. We try to use neurotypical or neurodivergent." And he goes, "Well, he's neuro not divergent." Which, yeah, he's neuro not typical. And he was like, "So okay, dude." So I thought that was funny. But other than that, I was just like, "Brandon, please shut up. Please stop talking immediately." So next thing we have is this is when Eve and Julian are sitting at the table by themselves, and Julian was casually trying to flirt with Eve, trying to chat her up. And then he was like, something was wrong with the table, like it was wobbly. So he's like, let me fix this. So he dropped down to his knees and was fixing the table. And I was like, me, I too like to fix tables. That's why I would drop down to my knees to fix the table as well, because we're twinning them, both of us. And then it goes to the scene of the teacher flirting with Curtis, and I think it's adorable. That I could get behind.
Yeah, they're cute. I love them.
Yes, that I could get behind. That I ship. That I ship. That I approve of. Okay? And then after the next scene is after the meeting, Brandon and the girl, I can't remember her name. Brandon and the girl who invited him to join the club. Nope. You know her name?
Nope.
Okay. She was like, she could tell that he was feeling down, so she gave him a hug. And then of course Brandon tried to flirt with her through it. And she was like, not you trying to hit on me when I'm trying to comfort you. And so I was like, Brandon, she just wanted to comfort you, not sleep with you. Be nice, be kind. And then so next we go back to Eve and Julian talking, and Julian's asking Eve about her experiences and about her ex-husband and all that stuff. And she was saying something about how he was like everybody loved him, how he was popular and charismatic and handsome, and she was none of that. And I was like, Eve, your baby daddy is giving none of that, girl. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that you got tricked.
But say back in the day.
No. And she talk about something. He's smart. Where? The man don't wash his fucking hands. I'm sorry, Eve. It's given none of that.
She was blinded by love. Okay,
so must be some hell of a love, because that's a lot. That's a lot of flaws to bypass. He's the king of red flags. That's crazy. And then Julian asked Eve about herself. She's like, "What, was I hot?" No, definitely not. I was like, Eve, I'm sure you was definitely hot, girl. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't downplay yourself, girl. You look hot now. You look fine now. And so Eve is explaining to Julian everything about her personality growing up. And then Julian goes, I just would have never expected it from you. You're sitting here drinking ice in your wine. And I was like, ice and wine is weird, because why would you do that? I feel like it would just water down what you're drinking, and then that would defeat the purpose of it. I don't know, maybe that's just me though. And then the next scene is the teacher and Curtis talking, and he's explaining to her everything he does for his job, all his research. So he seems to be a neurologist of some sort, or in neurology to some extent. And the research that he says sounds interesting, but it's just like, yeah, if you're not if you're not interested in doing that, you definitely shouldn't, because neurology is with the brain, and I don't know, I kind of would want somebody who is passionate about it working on my brain, but again, maybe that's just me. Um and then the next thing we have is Barry, who is the owner of the bar that they're at. He's also one of their classmates, and he's the man that was asking the teacher all these super weird uh personal questions. He wanted to apologize to her, so he brought her over a dish, and he was just like, I'm sorry for asking all those questions. I didn't mean any offense by it. And I was like, okay, that's nice that he apologized for his small mindedness and invasive questions. That's nice, because it's not really what we usually, or folks usually get. So that was nice of him. And then the next scene we have is Eve and Julian still talking, and Eve is looking over at some young women, and she's trying to get Julian to go over and flirt with them. And Julian is telling her, oh, I don't know how to flirt, which I find funny because he was flirting with Eve the entire time they was talking. So I thought that was funny. And then um but he was telling Eve that he didn't want to go over and talk to them because they're not his type. And she was like, you're too young to have a type. And I was like, his type is everybody's type. You, Eve. So,
It's everybody's criteria.
listen, I'm just saying. And so next thing you know, Julian asks Eve how old she is, and she's like, how old are you? And the way she said that reminded me of, I want to say that it was WandaVision, when what is it? Somebody said something. She was like, who? Oh, when goddamn Wanda was like, who are you? And she was like, who are you? When Agnes was like, who are you? When she like showed herself to be Agnes, or showed herself to be Agatha Harkness.
Huh?
Yeah, when she was like, who are you? And Agatha was like, who are you?
But I don't remember this.
Anyway, so she said that she's 45, and he says he's 19, and I'm like, yuck.
Definitely.
He's a teenager. Disgusted. Eve, get with me, not him. And I think so gross. Anyway, so the next scene is Eve. The teacher comes over to where Eve and Julian are talking, and she's like, "Can I borrow her for a second?"
You just like interrupted the aura.
As she should. And Eve goes with her, and then they start dancing. And Eve looks so happy, and she looks so adorable. And you even pointed that out. You was like, she looks so adorable.
Like she's finally living her life.
But she looks so happy. And that's what I love. And then yeah, I just said that I love that Brandon is getting the next scene was, what was the next scene? After me, I think he was just sitting in his room.
Was this okay? So yeah, before he sat in his room, he walked past. What's that guy's name?
I can't remember his name, but he's like the really bubbly college dude. And the really bubbly college dude has a lot of friends over, and they're
And he sees that.
exactly, he sees that because he tried to get people to come hang out with him, and nobody was interested. But he has a lot of friends over, and they're enjoying themselves, and I'm like, I love that Brandon is getting a dose of reality. Because yes, you can be hot shit in high school and nobody give a fuck about you in college. So just like, but I also don't think he's really trying to fit. I think he's trying to fit in with the crowd that he was in high school, and not really growing.
That's not gonna work.
And being like, no, college is a different thing.
Area.
Exactly. So, no. But the next scene we have is Brandon deciding to call his mama back while his mama is
living her life.
living her life drunk. Well, she's not drunk. She probably
She was
tipsy.
drunk.
Drunk, and
Wait, did you talk?
drunk and just out with her friends, classmates,
Living
friends,
life.
right? And so Brandon calls her, and Eve is like, "Listen, I can't hear you. I'll get back to you in a second." But I thought it was funny that while Brandon is trying to talk to his mom, Eve is being pulled to the dance floor by Julian, who he bullied. And I just thought that that was funny. But yes. So, and then the next scene we have is them deciding to leave the bar, all liquored out.
I mean, well,
And
they didn't decide. They were kind of forced because Julian.
yeah, Julian couldn't hold his liquor because he's a fucking child and shouldn't have been drinking anyway. The boy's 19.
Wait a minute.
He's
That's
not
a good
21.
thing.
Exactly.
He not get ID?
No.
Wait
And
a
that's my thing. I'm like, you
minute.
in class with this boy, and then the dude said someone needs to take the child home. So you knew that this boy should not be drinking. Maybe I am the loser. Because I would have been like, I'm not gonna lose my bar license giving you alcohol. But some bars do that, it seems like. Wouldn't be me though. But yeah, no, he didn't check his ID.
Well,
And then Eve ain't say
he
nothing.
said drinks on him, so
Fuck out here. And then Eve ain't say nothing. She wasn't like, wait a minute, you're 19. First of all, stop flirting with me. Second of all, you should not be drinking.
First of all, stop flirting with me. It's crazy.
Because she a grown woman and you a child.
If you were 19, you wouldn't be flirting with Kathryn.
No. Well, first of all, we're not talking about me. We talk about him. We're talking about him, and he needs to stop because it's not you a child.
Okay.
First of all, I don't like you bringing me into this. That's not what this is about.
No, I'm just because I just want to see your perspective on it. Like, if you was in that position.
No, I would not, because I wouldn't be in the bar when I'm not supposed to be drinking. I don't drink now. I'm barely drink now.
Yeah, that's your problem.
You think that's my problem? Fuck you. Whatever. No, I would. If I was 19, I would not be flirting with Kathryn. She is a happily married woman with children. But wait, hold on.
No, like we're saying if she was in that situation.
So if she was Eve and I was Julian,
yeah,
that's different because she's not married and her child. We're not talking about this right now. Anyway, Brandon, Julian, stop flirting with her. You too young for her. You don't know nothing about nothing. And then, yeah, I said that was funny that he's bringing her back to the dance floor. Julian, not able to hold his liquor, decides to show his age, and so they had to leave. And nobody else wanted to, or nobody else could give him a ride. So Eve was like, "No, I'll drive him." Which I'm like, Eve, you was drinking. You gonna drive him home?
Yeah, that I didn't like that because that. And the thing is, people do that now, which scares the living daylights out of me.
Exactly.
How you?
So I wasn't chiming with that. You could have called that boy an Uber.
Right.
You could have got him a lift. You didn't have to drive. So I don't know about that. But yeah, I was like, Eve, you shouldn't be driving this boy home. One, you is tipsy at the least. And also, y'all should not be alone. So he gets, I want to say car sick, but it's because he was drinking. And he asks her to pull over, and she does. So he gets out and he throws up. And she's like, "Oh, let me help him out." So she gets out of the car and decides to try to hold his hair up. And she's asking him if he's okay. And he was like, "You have great boobs." And I was like,
And throws again.
and then throws up. He's like, "You have amazing boobs," and then proceeds to throw up again. I was like,
the thing is, right?
The thing is what?
At least he asked her to pull over instead of just throwing up in her car.
They shouldn't have been in the car together at all. And that's that on that. So Eve drops the boy off. She makes sure he goes to his house, and then she goes home, opens her door. You can't tell that she closes all the way. I'm sure she doesn't. She has a habit of not closing doors behind her. So she goes to her fridge, opens it, gets a jug of water out, drinks from it.
Did she close the door?
No, she didn't. And then she walks away from the fridge open. Her electric bill must be fucking crazy. Because you leave your house door open, your air conditioner is going out. You leave your fridge open. You must got money to blow. Must be nice. Anyway, so she walks away from the open fridge and then grabs the care package that she made for the boy. She
asked for whatever happened to the cookies.
She grabbed the cookies out, and she was going town eating them. She's like, "What? That's good." And then she just puts on a pern.
And I feel like at this point she's a little
listen, a little.
Yeah, she got a little problem.
She's sitting there just eating the cookies, watching the pern, and then decides to diddle the skittle. And it's like, girl,
eating cookies.
You ain't washed your hands. You just got in from a bar. You was dancing around. You was holding the hair of somebody who was vomiting. Just very, very fascinating. So she got no fear in the world. But yeah, that's how it ends. And I said, watching Pern while eating cookies and diddling the diddle. That's a new low. That's a new low for you, Eve.
It's something. I mean,
you might be it's feeling a little cracky. That's all I'm saying. And that's the end of the episode. What did you think of it?
Like I said, I think I said this way back when.
Mm-hmm.
You said that it was gonna be raunchy.
It is raunchy.
Okay, I guess me and you have two different definitions of raunchy because
they showed full on porn in this episode. Girl, what do you mean?
I'm expecting it to happen every 5 minutes.
First of all, that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. It is a TV show. It's not a porn in of itself. My God. Other than that, so you want more raunchiness?
This is what I thought would happen. This is what my brain was set up.
So that's what you want?
No. But I'm just glad that she broke out her shell. Maybe she was drunk, yeah. But she still did it.
I think she needs to stay away from that boy.
That's not bad.
That boy is the same age as her son. Allegedly. I'm sorry, because he don't look nobody's 19, 18. At least Julian kind of a little bit looks his age, that the age he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Her son do not.
His forehead just bothered me.
Oh my God. But anything else what was your favorite part of the episode? Do you have a ranking? Anything like that?
But I do have a favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
It was when she was just dancing to her music on the stage.
She looked so happy.
I love that for her.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you go, Eve, get a girl.
That was true, genuine
Mm-hmm,
happiness.
mm-hmm.
Especially with all the things she's been dealing with Ted and Roy's dad and all that.
Yeah,
she needed this.
Yeah, and she looked so happy, just in her element.
So hard.
I was like, I wish she had more friends. I feel like if she had more friends, she would be so good, and friends that want to go out and it seems like she likes going out and having a good time. Right. Friends that want to go out and have a good time. You don't have to sit in the house just because your son is off at college. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, do you have a rating for this episode? Out of 10?
Honestly, I'm going to give this one...
I just keep seeing her smile. She's so adorable.
I'm going to give this one... Now, rating, is that A through B? I mean...
1 through 10.
1 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
Ranking is A through...
Ranking is this is my number 1 episode. This is my...
Okay, you know what?
Fine, you can do rating alphabets and ranking numbers.
No.
What do you want from me? I'm trying to work with you here.
And I love that so much. But no, I will give this episode... I will give this a 9.5.
9.5. I'll give it a 9. I wish that I don't know. No, yeah, this one was a good one. I'll give it a 9. I enjoyed it. So next we're gonna go to episode 4.
Four.
And it opens with Eve watching a video. It's like you know how some adult content again I like storylines, how it's like a faux interview of that kind. And there's one lady that pops up on screen and I'm like, I know her. I mean, what? I don't know. She's a real like she's a real like a adult film actress. And I was like, I know her.
I know you.
And
hey, you look familiar.
And I just thought that was funny. She terrible actress, but she does good work. the ladies she worked with, she got good chemistry with. I appreciate. Can't act to save her life, but and that's another thing. I'm like, maybe because I feel like those type of like porn actresses get the they can't act, they're terrible. I've seen some good actresses, but they can't act, they're terrible. I feel like I don't know if that's real or if it's feeding into the stereotype. You know what I mean? Like let me be what is expected.
What you mean?
Like if you're acting in a film and the genre is seen as like people don't take it seriously and the acting is not good, I feel like if you were a good actor, like a super good actor, it would be off-putting because it's like, what are you doing here? Like we need people who like, okay, let me think. Let me try to explain. Okay. Let me try to explain. If you go to like a strip club, right? And it's like low barrel, people giving no effort, right?
Okay.
If there's a professional dancer up there, it's gonna be like, what are you doing here?
Like, right. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if they like dull their acting to just to fit with what they're doing, or if they're really terrible actors. So I don't know. That was
gotta find one in there.
That was a tangent. My bad, y'all. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. But anyway, but through all these interviews, faux interviews, I was like, I wish these people would take their fucking shoes off the bed. These ladies are sitting there in heels and they got them shoes.
The one lady in the yellow sweater, she didn't have no shoes on.
Okay, but then there's others that have shoes on the bed. That's nasty. And you about to hunch on the bed that you got your sneakers on? You about to hunch on the bed that you got your heels on?
Said they're gonna be hunching on the bed. They could be hunching on the couch.
It don't matter. You getting on my nerve today. You get on my nerve today. It don't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. Stop doing this ain't that. Stop doing this. Just be quiet. Sorry, y'all. We back. Next scene is just the middle of the day. You could tell because you can see the light through the window. And Eve's just sitting there watching a porn, diddling the skittle in the middle of the day. And I'm like, girl, it's giving. Well, she's not even diddling. She's just watching. I'm like, it's giving crackish at this point, girl. All day, every day. And then while she's watching, she gets a call. She picks it up and she learns that Roy has passed.
Oh, my boy.
I know, that's your favorite character.
You lied to me.
I forgot that he died.
How you forget?
I don't know.
Disrespectful.
But yeah, so she's sad about that. And I just thought that it was funny because the way Eve was standing, you could see what was happening on her computer screen. So she's turned away from it, getting this terrible news that one of her favorite residents has passed. And you just see on the computer screen women taking their clothes off. And it's blurred, but you can still see what's happening. And so
that's the problem.
I just thought that was funny. What?
You focusing on a computer screen. You supposed to be focusing.
Oh my god.
Thief.
I just thought that it was funny. I was like, oh, and then you see people taking off their clothes. I was like, well, oh. So yeah, Roy passed. And then the next scene, what happened here? I said Zach is tired of your shit, Brandon. What was that about? Because him tossing the garbage, that was in the last episode. So what was that about? What did he do to Zach in this episode?
Was that not the...
What?
No, you're right. That was him when he was throwing the peanuts.
That was it, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, but Zach is tired of his shit because he's ignoring him and he doesn't want to be around him. So next scene we have is Julian coming over. Well, he's standing outside of Eve's work because he wants to apologize to her how he was acting. And he was like, I hope that I didn't say anything embarrassing or anything like that. And she forgave him. And I was like, not right now, Julian. Oh, because he was like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? And she's like, I've had a really tough day. Again, Roy just passed. And she's like, I had a really tough day. I'll see you.
Where you true?
Huh?
Didn't have it.
Where he was what?
Nothing.
She was like, I'll see you in class.
When she did that, I honestly thought she was gonna like offer him a ride.
I need her to stay away from this boy. And I was like, at least he's apologetic about how he was acting. That's nice.
Yeah.
But stay away from him. And then, yeah, I was like, you're a child, Julian. Leave her alone. And then the next scene we have is the boy's father finally gets to the school. And not only did he come, he brought his wife and his young son. And I said, so this asshole told Eve not to come visit her son, but he brought his mistress and other child. I said, I'd be good and goddamn if this fucker told me I can't visit my son, but you want...
My thing is...
That pissed me off so bad, I can't even... Whatever. Your thing is what?
Like, if you know that the child has autism, why would you bring him to a college?
Because he's a douche. And I have it written in my comments too, I truly believe that he did not want to stay there that long with Brandon. I fully believe that. So I fully believe he brought his family as a way out. Because he said, well, I'll get back to it. But yeah, I think that he brought his son so that he can have an excuse to leave early. And then, yeah, I was like, he's a terrible fucking parent. Because how do you tell me I can't visit my child, but you can, and you can bring... It's just going to be us two.
The audacity.
I'd be fucking pissed. And you can see on Brandon's face that he was disappointed.
Like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
That was just us two.
Exactly. You could see the disappointment in his face. Whatever. And then,
hey, that's what his disappointing.
Exactly. And then, again, we get back to Eve. She's home from work, and she's sitting there watching porn again. And this time it's evening, and the lamp is on behind her, and she's diddling this time. And then she starts to fantasize.
Oh my god.
And then there is, the dude is asking her questions like he did in the faux interviews. Asking her, she's like, I guess I don't want to be a good girl anymore, all that stuff. And she was like, he was like, are you ready? She's like, yeah. He was like, we have 2 studs ready. And then the 2 studs in question come into the camera. And you see that one is Julian and the other is Roy.
Freaking Roy.
And she's like, no. And she got herself out of the fantasy and closed the computer. I was like, Eve, that is nasty. But she did look hot in that black dress. I was like, you look hot, girl. Anyway, so the next scene is Brandon, his father, and the father's wife and son. And I'm like, I wonder if Brandon is starting to see Eve's point about his daddy.
He's
So
douche weenie.
exactly. The next scene we have is Roy's funeral, and Eve is there. So is Amanda, and his son, Roy's son. What's the son's name again? I forgot. They said it, but I don't remember.
They did.
It's okay. Roy's son is, saying some nice words about his father. And you can see that Eve is emotional. And Amanda, well, I mean, everybody, it's a funeral. It's a wake, I guess. It's a wake. When the, I don't, yeah, I've been to one, maybe two funerals in my life. And they were all as a child, as a kid and a teenager. Yeah, so a wake. And yeah, his words. He seemed to love his father. He just didn't have a lot of patience for him, is what I'm guessing, is what I'm getting. But and then the next scene is Eve and Amanda walking up to Roy's casket and saying their final goodbyes. And Eve starts crying, and I was like, Kathryn is such a good crier. Like, she really sells it.
Yeah.
And so she leans down to try and give Roy like a kiss on the head. And the son's like, hey, what are you doing? Get away from him. Right. And then the son is rude because he has this hatred for Eve because Eve wanted Roy to get more help. And exactly. And the son was like, you wanted to kick him out because you thought he was some kind of pervert. Whatever. So he decides to be rude to Eve. And I was like, watch yourself, dude. And then Amanda comes, she swoops in and saves you. She's like, you know what, let's get out of here. And I thought that was really sweet. And so she's like, you want to get a drink? Yes. And Eve was like, yes, yes, I do. And so the next scene we have is excuse me, is Curtis and the teacher. Again, the teacher's name is it Maya? I feel like it's Maya.
We'll go with Maya.
Okay, Curtis and the teacher, Maya. Hopefully that's her name. We'll see. I'll fix it in post. I'm just kidding. I don't know how to do that. But Curtis and Eve are on a date? Question mark? And they're in like a mall? In the mall food court? Okay, but it's in the food court, right? At the mall. It's so loud. And I'm like, how are y'all enjoying this? But they looked cute. They look cute together. Yes. And so I was like, okay, all right, I see. And then the next scene is Brandon and his father and the father's wife and the son. They're at this art gallery,
bro,
and they decided to pick up the art and toss it around because it was words written on a football.
What I didn't like was how there was a person at the desk.
At all. She's probably like, we get this all the time. But whatever. Yeah, they just picked up the ball and tossed it around like it was nothing. Not somebody's hard work.
Right.
Whatever. And I was like, he's a terrible influence on his son. And then we see them leaving the art exhibit, going into like, I want to say like a main hall or something like that. And you see this a cappella group come out and they want to welcome the parents, and they start singing. And of course, the son has like Brandon's younger brother who is autistic. He has a reaction to it because they're loud and they're like right in front of him. And I was just like, oh, first of all, I was cringing really hard at them singing.
Bruh, freaking Lady Gaga.
Like, I was like, how come Pitch Perfect 1 doesn't make me cringe, but this does? I don't know. Freaking Pentatonics don't make me cringe, but this did. And I was like, I wish they would stop. I don't like this at all. I was very uncomfortable too. And so the son started crying because, of course, again, they're loud and they're right in front of him. Yeah. And I was just like, it's so crazy to see how different the dad is with Brandon versus his little brother. Yes, I get it. There's an age difference there. But still, you can see the care that he has in his son. But when it comes to Brandon, he's just like, he's fine.
You got it.
Yeah. And it's just like, dude, so what Brandon asks him, it makes sense for him to ask that question. So yeah. And then the next thing we have is Curtis and Maya, the teacher, still in the mall. They have pretzels that look delicious. And they're sitting in the massage chairs getting massages. And I was like, oh, I miss those massage chairs in the mall. Oh,
They're still there.
I know, I'm not paying for that. You know, you can get one of those like in your house. Like you can get a comforting massage chair in your house. Now it costs like $2,000 and whatnot.
But you'll be massaged.
Exactly, and it's just for you, and you don't got to keep putting money in. They probably take a lot of energy though.
Yeah, they're gonna be high.
Listen, and if I'm trying to do solar on my tiny home, I don't think I can. I don't think that will help. So, but it would be nice to have. And then so the next scene we have is Eve and Amanda sitting in Amanda's living room, just going over the day, and Amanda's vaping, and so she asks Eve if she wants to, and I'm like, don't vape, Eve. It's bad for you. It's bad for your insides. You know where that's from. So when Kathryn Hahn did an interview on Mythical Kitchen with Josh, he was telling her how he drinks diet energy drinks, and she's like, "Don't do that. It's bad for your insides." So I thought that was funny.
Diet energy drinks?
Yeah, I don't.
I need
I don't drink none of that stuff. So, and then Amanda and Eve were talking about Roy and was like, "Do you think that he knew that he was losing it at the end and all that?" And then Amanda just goes, "Do you want to get in a hot tub?" She didn't like emphasis the A. I'm emphasizing the A. So you want to get in a hot tub? And then Eve is like, "Do you have a hot tub?" And she's like, "No, but my neighbor does." So I was like, it's so funny how it was so funny how she's like, "You want to get in a hot tub, not my hot tub or the hot tub." I was like, "I love you, Amanda." But yeah, she was like, "They're not home." And then Eve was like, "Did they say you can use it?" And she's like, "They didn't say I couldn't."
And she has a valid point.
Does she?
Yeah.
If your neighbors go and they have an Xbox and you want to play the Xbox, they didn't say that you could play the Xbox. They didn't say that you couldn't play the Xbox, but I don't think that you would go and play the Xbox.
Yeah, probably.
No, that's not, no.
No?
If I go on vacation and I have a hot tub and my neighbor's like, "I'm gonna go get in her hot tub," I will feel very disrespected. You ain't ask me shit.
No. But that's because I know you, so I'm gonna do it anyway.
I don't care. No, you're not. You know what, y'all? This may be the last episode with Mo. Anyway, yeah. No, so we get back to Brandon's dad is taking him to eat. They're sitting and eating alone. And I just knew.
The moment he looked at his watch,
I was like, he finna dip on this boy.
Yep.
And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna leave because, he's not handling it well." And I was like, I fully believe he brought his other son because he didn't want to spend much time with Brandon. He was like, "This is an excuse and I can leave." Because
like, I don't understand. Like, if you didn't want to be there, then why not just let Eve have the weekend?
That's still fucking, again, yeah, I said this douche told Eve not to come visit her son. Meanwhile, he's leaving early. Fuck him. That's crazy to me. Yeah. I still would have went anyway. You're not telling me that I can't visit somebody I pushed out of my cooter. And I got custody. Well, I got custody of him. You're not telling me I'm not. If I got married and some broad was trying to tell me that I can't visit Yoshi, who I birthed, I didn't birth him, but it might have been. It should have been. Might as well have been. You ain't gonna tell me I'm not gonna visit my child. So the fact that she was like, "Okay," is crazy to me.
She has fun?
Huh?
She has fun?
I don't care. And I don't care. No, that's not the point of this. But no. And then Brandon is asking the dad outright. He's like, "Why do you love him more than me?" And the dad just I was like, yeah, he says what every child wants to hear. Every child wants to be told that you don't need as much care, support, and love as my other child. That's why I'm giving it all to them and nothing to you. You're fine.
You got this.
That's crazy to me.
You're smart. Play sports. Not to do anything.
That's crazy to me. You neglected me, and then now you're telling me you're too old for. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're too old for daddy's attention. That's crazy. Especially because you see the juxtaposition of how he is with Brandon and how he is with his other son. Which, again, I get the differences. But still, it's like, why couldn't you have been there for him as well? It's crazy. I don't know. Whatever.
Especially since you weren't even there to send him off in the first place.
And then it just seems like at every chance he chose somebody else over Brandon.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he did to Eve, too. Anyway, and then at that point, you can see the realization in Brandon's face of who his father actually is. And he's like, you know what? I'm okay. This ain't, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, sometimes we gotta learn stuff on our own. So many people could have told him how his father really is, but until he really digested and got it and saw it for himself and understood it, it would have just been that words.
In one ear, out the other.
Exactly. But now he saw it. He's like, you know what? It was right. Exactly. And so the next thing we have is Eve and Amanda in the hot tub. And I was like, I want to get in the hot tub with Eve and Amanda. I want to listen to all their stories. I want to be the meat in that bread sandwich. Anyway, and then bread sandwich.
Could be Nutella.
Shit. Is it because I'm black?
Wow. Yeah.
Racist. And then I said, because Amanda was talking about how one of her neighbors had this relationship with another neighbor where they were married to different people and they weren't like cheating, but they would watch shows together and watch TV together. And she's like, I want a TV buddy. I was like, I want a TV buddy too. That sounds so nice. Like you don't have to be in a relationship. You're just chilling, watching the same stuff, enjoying it. That's so sweet. And then Curtis. The next thing we have is Curtis and the teacher. The teacher asking, or Maya, asking him to go to a book reading with her.
Yeah.
A story reading with her, that she's a part of. And he's like, oh, when is it? And she says, well, it's on Wednesday. And he's like, Wednesdays are busy. She's like, you know what? It's okay. Bye. I'll see you later, Curtis. And at first I was like, Curtis, why are you being fucking weird? Like, y'all just had a good time.
Yeah.
Is it like you don't want to be seen with her in public? But then I remembered he's in neurology. So it's kind of like he is a doctor. So I could see why he say Wednesdays are busy, because usually during the week you're seeing patients and whatnot. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this one time. And just him. He got one chance. And then I'm going to believe all the terrible things that I think.
The thing is, he said Wednesdays is busy after he asked her if he would be going as her date. And she said, yeah.
But also, she didn't let him, like, finish. That's another thing. She cut him off. Like, immediately. She was like, okay, bye, Curtis. And, yeah, maybe he's not ready to date. I can see from both sides. Her being like, what is this? Why does this feel like you're hiding me?
Yeah.
And him being like, I'm busy. And is this, and then also she's his teacher. So it's like, and I know that they're the same age, but it's still like, there's some there. You know what I mean? So I get it from both sides. Pause. And then, so Eve and the next scene is Eve and Amanda. They're still in the hot tub, and Amanda is asking her about everything going on now that her son has left for college. And Eve is like, I've been having these really wild fantasies. And Amanda's like, what are you gonna do about them? And Eve is like, nothing. And Amanda's like, you should do something about them. And then the giggle that Eve lets out is so fucking cute. I love them. See,
they are cute, yeah.
That okay, but
like I look like she brings out that side of her.
Like, I could get behind them, but also Eve is her boss. There's just a whole bunch of terrible imbalances of power. You know what? I still want her and Eve to. I still want her and the man to be together. I don't care. Everybody else don't know, and I don't care that that's what.
I didn't say.
And you looking at me like I don't care that that's whatever. It's how I feel.
Period. Nobody can tell you different.
That order. And then so yeah, whatever. I want them to be together. I ship them. And her giggle was cute. And then why did I say Brandon? What was going on there? What happened there? Oh, so the little boy, the brother, he had this stripe. What you said it was a scarf?
I think it was
a striped scarf that he brought with him. It was his comfort, something of comfort for him, and he lost it, and that's why he was freaking out when it was time to go because he couldn't find it. And so the dad was like, "Hey," or the dad's wife was like, "Hey, if you find it, can you just send it to us?" And Brandon's like, "Sure." And so Brandon is brushing his teeth, I assume getting ready for bed, and he sees the scarf on the bathroom floor behind him. And so he's like, huh. So he goes and picks it up. He's leaving now that he's done in the bathroom, and he tosses it in the garbage.
Yep.
And I was like, Brandon.
But you can't be surprised because it's him.
I know, he's a douche. But also, it's like, your anger with your father is your anger with your father. Your brother did not ask to be here.
Yeah.
He did not have no say in nothing. Why do you have hatred for him? That's like when families break up or parents get divorced and they get married and there's other children and then the children have animosity for those children. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't decide this. Why are you mad at me? So that's what I feel. And anybody who did that, I feel like you're stupid. And of course, you're an adult too. I get being not jealous. I get being like, why wasn't I good enough? Totally get that. But I'm not going to take it out on the little kid. The little kid ain't do nothing. My anger is with you. I'm going to take all my anger on you. You feel me? That's just how I feel. That's how I think. That's what I would do. If I'm mad at you, I'm mad at you. I'm not taking it out on. I'm mad at you.
Between us.
Us. We got the beef. Not this little 6-year-old kid. What the fuck I look like? 18 fighting with, mind you, me and Papa used to argue all the time, but that was real. Exactly. This, like, you got some real animosity for this little boy. Whatever. I don't know. And then the next scene we have is Amanda walking Eve out. They're done in the hot tub. And Eve is like thanking her for everything. And I said, she got her drawers in her hand because Eve was holding her underwear. Because again, they were in the hot tub. Where did she get the bathing suit from? Or was she just in her underclothes? I think. And then she took off her. So she didn't have no drawers on. Her cheeks was just out.
And she was bending over.
Look, she was trying to. What is it? Is it peacocking? What is it? When you trying to interest the mate? Nasty. Right. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, she got her drawer in her hand. And then so Amanda's like, yeah, we should do this again. We can do this next time. We can watch a movie. And then Eve just kisses her. And because I'm me, I was like, Eve, gay ass. You knew it was coming. Gay ass. And then I was like, but also she's your employee. Stop kissing her. And then you can see Amanda was like, no. Not no. But she's like, whoa. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
And then you could just see the gay panic Eve had. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And she kept dropping her underwear, trying to leave. And that was the end of the episode. But Amanda's like, no, it's okay. It's fine. And Eve was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm good. And that was the end of the episode.
Now, I wonder if Amanda had that reaction because Eve is the boss.
I think she had that reaction because they were both drinking. And it was so far out of left field. I think she always thought Eve was straight. Gotcha. And so she was like, no, she's interested in this cake topper man. Like, she's not, she's just out of a divorce. Her son's off to college. I think it came so far out because nobody knows about her porn addiction or nothing like that. So I think Eve suppressed her feelings for forever and gave nothing away. So her coming out of nowhere, just kissing her, I think she was like, what the fuck is going on? Because she wasn't offended. She was like, no, it's fine. I would have been like, yeah, it's weird. Like you've never shown any interest in me. Because again, she had her feelings.
Yeah.
You've never shown any interest in me. Out of nowhere, you want to kill. Like, what's this about? Also, like, our favorite resident just died. Like, what is this really about? You know what I mean? So I get it. But I was like, Eve, no, you're her employer. Stop it. And that's probably why Eve was freaking out. Because Amanda's like, wait, what's going on? And Eve was like, oh no, she's gonna like say that like I assaulted her or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I could see both of them. I could see why Eve was gay panicking. And also she's like, I can't believe I just did that. So I can see why Eve was gay panicking, but I can also see Amanda being like, yo, what's going on? You good? And yes, I thought that was a great way to end the episode. I'm very excited for the next 3. Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, what did you think of the episode? Excuse me.
Yeah, that I'm gonna give this one a 9.
A 9? I give it a 9.5.
I'm so sick of you.
What's your favorite part of the episode?
Ooh, I don't have one. Not on this one.
What did I ask you?
Your favorite part?
Yes. I'm sorry. My brain blanked. Because I was like, is that thunder? My favorite part of the episode was seeing the difference between how the dad treats Brandon and how he treats his other son. Because you can also see why Brandon acts like such a dick too.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you have a mom that loves you so much. But
I think that would overpower.
Exactly, but it doesn't. And it never does. And I speak from experience too. It never does. And then you feel bad because you're like, damn, she loved me so much and I was focusing on. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. But so I get where he's coming from. But I like that. And then I also like, of course, even Amanda's scenes. I don't know why you roll your eyes.
My eyes.
If I'm gonna watch something, it gotta have some sapphic shit to it. And this did. And I appreciate it. And she didn't just kiss her. She grabbed her. She looked, first of all, because Amanda's taller than her. So she got up on her hunches and she put her whole arms around her head. And it was like, wait a minute. I was like, Eve, calm, relax. Nobody's taking her from you. I love that. So yes. But yes, I give this episode a 9.5. Thought it was great. And yeah, I wouldn't have changed anything about the episode. Would you have changed anything about the episode?
Yeah.
What?
I would have had him send Shrek.
Other than that, yeah. No, but I feel like it shows a good potential for growth. Like, yeah, I did that then, but by the end of the season, would he have done that? You know what I mean? Gotcha. And no, I wouldn't change anything. I thought it was all great. I enjoyed it all. Yeah. So those were our thoughts. You have anything else to say about it?
So far, I'm liking the show. It's cute.
Yes, it's a great show. Very different from anything you've seen Kathryn in.
Yeah.
Understood. And I'm very excited to see the rest. I know because you're used to Kathryn and Agatha and WandaVision.
Yeah.
And have you seen We Are the Millers? Okay.
I don't think so.
So you're used to that side. I love this side of Kathryn as well though. But yes, I wouldn't have changed anything. I thought it was amazing. I give it a 9.5. And now I'm going to ask question of the day. Random question of the day. Ready?
Yeah.
Do you think you would be able to survive an apocalyptic event? Want me to say mine first?
Like what?
Any apocalyptic event. I have. It's always would you, could you, and not would you want to. Because why the fuck would I want to? Why would I, as a black lesbian woman want to live in a post-apocalyptic world. Hell no. I'm not even gonna try. Like, there's only one scenario in which I'd be like, let me hear it out. But I guarantee it won't happen because, that's reality. But if it was all women, not even in a lesbian way, just in a I will be left the fuck alone way, and I won't have to worry about nobody's unwanted nothing, or at least there's a vastly lower chance. You feel me? So, like, with it just being like 85% women, my worry would be eradicated. No. With it just being women, I said like 80% of my worry would be eradicated. And then I would be like, okay, how can I survive this? Anything else? No. I don't care. I'm not fighting nobody's nothing. Goodbye. Listen, don't ask me to fight in nobody's war. Don't ask me to try to hide and try to run and get food and hide from aliens and this bad and that bad. I'm not doing that. Cause what after all of that is said and done, and you have to rebuild the earth, that sounds terrible. So it's a no for me. What about you? You said it depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what?
It is zombies.
If it's not zombies,
maybe.
If it's zombies, I'm getting 8. Pause.
Like, hello.
Like,
especially if they run.
They don't even gotta run. I'll be like, here, come on, let's go. What's taking you so long? You want the right arm, the left arm? I'm right hand, so the right arm might be more tender. Might taste a little better.
Maybe more right.
Listen, if it's like weather, what are you waiting for? You feel me? Like, I'm sorry. Huh?
Is that a Home Alone?
No, not Home Alone. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Never seen.
But she's like, what are you? Or even Scary Movie. And she's like, what are you waiting for, huh? I only know that part. I haven't seen that movie because it's a scary movie. But no, yeah, I'm not fighting. Listen, I'm not built for that, and I'm happy that I know that right now. You feel me? So no, you can try your
do it together.
We who?
Me?
You French?
Girl.
We ain't doing shit.
I hate you.
Goodbye. And Yoshi be like, the minute he can't have no food, he be like, first of all, and I don't do that hunting. That ain't me. My son he's very como se dice, bougie. So I don't know. I don't know where he get that from. But he's very bougie. He's very like this is you feed me. You get my food. You get my food. You do that. He's very uppity. He's a prince. He's a precious prince. So I don't know why you're making that face. I'm gonna tell Yoshi that you're talking shit about him.
I'm trying to fix my nose.
Tell him that you're talking shit about him, and he gonna get your ankles.
He already does,
and he gonna do it even more. And so imagine how he would be if he can't have no food. Whose ankles gonna be toe up? Yours. But no, yes. So yeah, I don't want to. Do y'all think I'm not laughing at y'all. I'm just asking. Do y'all think y'all could survive an apocalyptic event? Does it matter what kind of apocalyptic event? Let us know. Let us know. And let us know your thoughts on Mrs. Fletcher. And yeah, I'm excited to watch the next 3 episodes. Excited to hear y'all thoughts. And yeah, so hope y'all are staying cool. Hope y'all are good, happy, healthy,
calm,
collected, staying away from danger. Life is lifing. And yeah, thank y'all for listening. Sorry if this episode wasn't as entertaining. I enjoyed it, but we was just talking.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.